Hello and welcome to week 9 tutorial of CS 311. Now in this tutorial we are going to have a look at the Bankus algorithm, and the Bankus algorithm is a resource allocation and deadlock avoidance algorithm. Now this algorithm is not responsible for giving out the resources. What it does is it only does a check to see if giving out a particular resource is possible. So in the week 9 section, we are given some questions. First one is 7.3, so we'll have a look at 7.3. It says consider the following snapshot of a system, and we have to answer the questions based on that table. So there's allocation matrix, max and available. This allocation tells us how many resource of each type is allocated to a particular process. So that means 0 resource A is currently allocated to process 0. Right, this ABCD is some process, could be memory, CPU. Okay, this one here is the processes. So 0 of resource A is currently allocated to process 0. 0 resource B is allocated to process 0. 1 resource C is allocated to process 0, and 2 resource D is allocated to process 0. And the same applies for the rest of the processes. This max matrix tells us what is the maximum number of resource that each process is going to need. So in the first one, process 0 is going to need 0 resource A at max, 0 resource B at max, 1 resource C at max, and 2 resource D at max. The available matrix shows how many of each resource is currently available in the system, how many resources are free. So the first one is to find the content of the need matrix. So what this need means is a process needs some number of maximum resources, and based on that there are some that are currently allocated. So how many more does the process need? So that is the need matrix. So I have copied this table in Excel. So to find the need matrix, we will look at each process, and for that process we are going to subtract allocation from the max. So for P0, if you look at the resource A in max, it is 0, and in the allocation it is 0 as well. So 0 minus 0, we get 0. For process B, maximum is 0, allocation is 0, so need is 0. For process C, maximum is 1, allocation is 1, so need is 0. For resource D, max is 2, allocation is 2, so needed is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Then we'll do the same thing for the remaining 4 processes. We'll subtract the allocation from max, and we will get the need. Okay, so that is the content of the need matrix. Next one, it says, is the system in a safe state? So to determine that, what we will do is we'll try to simulate giving out the resources to the processes and see if there is any order in which all the processes can execute. If yes, then the system is in a safe state, otherwise it is not. So for this, what we will do is we'll compare the need matrix with the available matrix and see if we can run any process. So we'll compare the need with the available matrix. So right now the available matrix is 1520. Now with this many resources available, is there any process we can run? So in the need it says P0 needs 0 resource I. Do we have enough resource I? Yes, we have 1. Resource B, P0 needs 0 resource B. We have 5, okay. C needs 0, we have 2, and D is 0. and we have 0 in here. So we can execute P0. So we will first execute P0, right? And once P0 finishes the execution, it is going to retain whatever was allocated to P0. So currently, these are the number of resources allocated to P0. And once P0 completes, all these resources will be retained to the available pool. So we'll add that up. So 0, 0, 1, 2. So once P0 ends, the content of the available matrix is going to be 1, 5, 3, 2. Now can we run P1? So P1, in P1 needs 0 resource I. Okay, we have that. It needs 7 resource B, but we don't have enough resource B. So we cannot run process 1. Let's check the next one, P2. So P2 needs 1 resource I. We have 1, 0 resource B, we have 0 resource C, we have enough, and 2 resource D, and we have that. So we can run P2 next. So once P2 completes, the allocated resources will be retained to the pool. So 1, 3, 5, 4 will go back to the pool. The content of available becomes 2, 8, 8, and 6. Then can we run process 3? It needs 0, 0, 2, 0, and we have 2, 8, 8, 6. So we can run P3. So once P3 completes, these values will be retained to the pool. So we add up 0, 6, 3, 2. The value of available becomes 2, 14, 11, and 8. Then can we run P4? So P4 needs 0, 6, 4, 2, and we have 2, 14, 11, 8. So we can run P4. So once P4 completes, it is going to return 0, 0, 1, 4 back to the pool. So we add up 0, 0, 1, 4, and we get 2, 14, 12, and 12. Now can we run P1? So P1 was left. So P1 needs 0, 7, 5, 0. So now we can finally run P1. And we don't really have to calculate the values now because we are just looking for a sequence, but let's do that. So P0 for P1 will return 1, 0, 0, 0 back to the pool, and the content of the available matrix becomes 3, 14, 12, and 12, right? So since all the processes can execute in some sequence, we can say that the system is in a safe state. Then part C, if a request from process P1 arrives for 0420, can the request be granted immediately? So first we will need to check if the request for P1 is less than the need of P1, because that is what P1 has promised to need. So in here, the requested amount for P1 is 0420, right? Requested for P1 should be less than equal to the need for P1. The requested amount is 0420 and needed amount is 0750. That means P1 cannot request any more resource than what is needed. So 0420 is less than 0750, it is less than equal to. So we can proceed from here. Now what we'll do is, based on the request, we are going to adjust the allocation and available. That means if we give out 0420 to P1, then the allocation for P1 is going to increase. So right now the allocation is 1000, and if we give out 0420, then the allocation for P1 is going to change, and it is going to become 1420. right? So we'll update this. It becomes 1420, and then the available is also going to change. So we'll subtract 0420 from the available. The available is 1520, and if we subtract 0420, we are going to get 1100. So the available is 1100, right? So once again, we are not actually giving out the resource. We are only checking to see if we update these values and run a safe test, is the system going to end up in a deadlock? Okay. So after we have adjusted these values, let us do a check to see if there is a sequence in which these processes can still run. Right. So after P1 has requested 0420, the need matrix will also change. So initially process 1 needed 0750, right? And after we give out 0420, then process 1 is going to need 0330 more resources. So this is now 0330, right? So we will update the allocation, available, and need based on the request. So just as we did for part B, we will do the same thing now to find a sequence. Now the available is 1100. So based on whatever is available, can we run P0? Yes, we can, because 0000 is less than 1100. So 0000, right? So once P0 completes, it is going to return whatever was allocated to P0 back to the pool. So it was allocated 0012. So we will add that up, and the value for available becomes 1112. So first one to go was P0. Now can we run P1? So P1 needs 0330, and we have 1112. So there is not enough resource B to allocate to P1. So we'll go to P2. Can we run P2? So P2 needs 1002, and we have 1112. So we can run P2. So next will be P2, and once P2 completes, this will be returned to the pool. So we'll add that up, 1354. So value of available becomes 2, 4, 6, and 6. Then can we run P3? So P3 needs 0020, and we have enough resources. So we can run P3. So once P3 completes, the allocation will be returned to the pool. So we will add 0, 6, 3, 2, and we get 2, 10, 9, and 8. Now can we run P4? P4 needs 0642. So we have enough resources. And once P4 completes, it's going to return 0014 back to the pool. So 0, 0, 1, and 4. So if we add this up, we get 2, 10, 10, and 12. Right, P4. So we are done with P0, P2, P3, and P4. We are left with P1. So P1 needs 0330, and we have 2, 10, 10, 12. So we can now run P1. So once P1 completes, it is going to return all the resources back to the pool. So we have 1, 2, 1, 4, 2, 0, and we get 3, 14, 12, and 12. So we have found the sequence, and that is P0, P2, P3, P4, and P1. So since there is a sequence, that means the system is in a safe state, and we can grant the request for P1 immediately. So that was 7.3. So the next one is 7.22. And again, we are given the snapshot of a system with the allocation and max matrix. And we have to determine whether or not each of the following states is unsafe. And if the state is safe, then we have to illustrate the order in which the processes may complete. Otherwise, illustrate why the state is unsafe. So we are given the two starting values for the available matrix. So we'll have to do with both. So I have copied the values for allocation and max in the Excel file. Right. So we are first using this available matrix, that is 0301. So before we start finding whether the system is in a safe state, we first need to find the need matrix. So just as the previous question, we'll find the need matrix using this formula, that is max minus the allocation. Right. So I will fill these values. So we have the need matrix for each process. So we are going to start with 0301 as the available matrix. Now with this, can we run P0? So we cannot run P0 because P0 needs 2 resource I and we have 0. What about P1? Again, we cannot run P1 because P1 needs 1 resource I and we have 0. What about P2? So it looks like we can run P2 because the need is less than available. So once P2 completes, it is going to return 3121 back to the pool. So now in the pool we have 3, 4, 2 and 2. So P2 is done. Can we run P3? So we again cannot run P3 because there is not enough resource I. What about P4? We cannot run P4 because there's not enough resource D. We'll go back to P0. Can we run P0? Again, we cannot run because there's not enough resource D. P1. So we can run P1. So P1 goes next. So once P1 completes, it is going to return 2210 back to the pool. So now the size of the available pool becomes 5, 6, 3 and 2. Now can we run P2? Okay, so P2 is done. What about P3? So we can run P3. So once P3 completes, it is going to return 0510. So now in the available, we have 5, 11, 4 and 2. Can we run P4? So we cannot run P4 because there's not enough resource D. Let's go back to P0. So again, we cannot run P0 because there is not enough resource D. And P1, P2 and P3 are done. So now we are in a deadlock state if we grant these requests. So with this available matrix, the system is not in a safe state because we are not able to grant the request for P0 and P4 because there's not enough resource D in the available matrix. Then for part B, using the available as 1002. So 1002. So the value of need matrix will remain the same because the allocation and max does not change. It's only the available that is changing. So we are starting with 1002. So can we run any process in here? Can we run P0? No, because there's not enough resource A. We can run P1. So let's run P1. So once P1 completes, it is going to return 2210. So now the available matrix becomes 3, 2, 1, 2. Can we run P2? Yes, we can. So once P2 completes, it is going to return 3121. Now the size of available becomes 6, 3, 3 and 3. Can we run P3? So it is 4102, and here we have 6333, so we can run P3. So once P3 completes, it is going to return 0510. So the size of available becomes 6, 8, 4, and 3. Can we run P4? Yes, we can run P4. So once P4 completes, it is going to return 4212. Size of available becomes 10, 10, 5, and 5. The only one left is now P0. Can we run P0? So P0 needs 2103, and we have enough here, so we can run P0. And once P0 completes, it is going to return 3014. Back to the pool. So size of pool becomes 13, 10, 5, 6, and 9. So since there is a sequence in which all the processes can execute, therefore the system is in a safe state, or will be in a safe state, if we start with these many available resources. So that was 7.22. The next one is 7.23. Now for 7.23, you will do this question on your own, looking at the previous two examples that we did, and at the end you will have to submit the solution for this in the Dropbox. Last week there was no submission, so this week we have one submission, and that is you will submit the solution for 7.23, right? So make sure to show all the workings, and that is all for this video. Thank you for watching.